Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we are going to be taking a look at the Abbey Road Medley as performed by a number of new performers. In particular, one of them is actually very successful on YouTube, but we've never featured her before. That's Linge. And she has over 500,000 subscribers and has done a number of really good covers of various songs, mostly in the classic rock era, but not entirely. She also does new stuff. And she writes her own material from time to time. This is from October 9, 2020 is when it went up, at a time when a lot of projects like this were happening, where everybody was somewhere else and they were putting together studio tracks. The other people involved are Sina, the drummer that we have covered on numerous occasions, and then there's Cara Vel, who is a vocalist and guitarist on this, also did the vocal arrangements, Rick Benbow, who does the orchestral arrangement and the keyboards, and Ian Watts on bass. Also Manu Rao on guitar. So the other names I'm not familiar with, but I've got an open mind. I'd like to hear how it all comes together. So Emily has been working steadily on her YouTube channel for many years now and has quite a following. She does a really good job on these things. So of course we are also Beatles fans. This particular thing we have never seen before on the channel because you can't really do the Beatles. Unfortunately, it's tough to do reactions without getting shut down. Well, I guess it can be done, but it's tricky. And so we've avoided it. But this seems like an excellent solution. Always happy to see younger people recreating the classics. So, Adrian, do you have any thoughts ahead before we dive into this?
No, I'm just looking forward to hearing it. I remember there was a time when I used to listen to that album nonstop, the whole Abbey Road album.
Yeah, I think I can say the same thing, as a matter of fact. And, of course, Sina, we've seen her many times. I think she's even, if she doesn't have her playlist yet, we're going to make one after this, because she's part of it, too. She is also incredible on the drums. So.
Oh, Zina's amazing. She's very faithful to the original, too.
All right, well, let's see how they do with this, okay?
All right.
Let's check this out.
Once there was a way to get back home. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Once there was a way to get back home. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she doesn't have a lot to say. Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she changes from day to day. I wanna tell her that I love her a lot, but I gotta get a belly full of wine. Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, someday I'm gonna make her mine. Oh yeah, someday I'm gonna make her mine.
Nice touch at the end there with Her Majesty.
Yeah, just played very well. Dynamite musicianship.
Yeah.
Outstanding cover, too.
Did you notice that Sina had her kit set up just like Ringo? He always had a 4-piece kit.
So there would be a snare, a tom, and a floor tom?
That's right. That's how Ringo did it. In fact, that kit looks a lot like one of Ringo's kits. Maybe she actually has shells that are similar to whatever Ringo used. I'm actually not totally familiar with what Ringo had for a drum kit, but I do recognize the configuration, and that's about the right cymbal setup too. Notice she's just got a hi-hat, she's just got a crash right there, and then a ride over on the other side. Ringo was not a flashy drummer, or is not a flashy drummer, I should say. He's still playing. He just went for the thing that he thought the song needed, which I think is the best thing you can do as a drummer.
Yeah, he never, I don't recall him ever getting greedy or anything with like drum fills or whatever, doing elaborate drum fills. We've talked about how much restraint it takes to like drum like Ringo.
Yeah, well, I think that the Beatles kind of worked the same way that we've noticed the Warning works, which is as a group, they'll put things together. Sure, people might bring in songs, especially towards the end, like when you get to the White Album, things like that. Maybe there's a little bit more controlled by the person that actually wrote the song. But before that, I believe they worked as a unit, and they would create the song and make decisions so that it wasn't just a free-for-all jam. It was actually a very good arrangement that held up with time. I mean, here we are 60 years later, still talking about those songs. And, we're watching nervously as Paul McCartney gets older and Ringo gets older. Ringo's 85 now. Paul is 83. So we treasure those two. Ringo is still out touring. Paul is actually about to tour the U.S. again. So power to them. They must enjoy it, because they certainly don't need to tour anymore. So what did you think about the other players on this?
Yeah, the guitarists, the two guitarists. I mean, that was awesome. They stayed very faithful to the original. I just never thought I'd hear another group doing the same thing as like side 2 of Abbey Road.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one nice thing lately, especially with all of the copyright issues lately. It's a lot safer to do these cover songs than to do the originals. If you're featuring a cover, the people who did the cover are happy about it. They're not going to block you. They're not going to cause issues. So I think this is the way of the future for this channel, is we're going to be finding a lot of cover acts, and I think that these are going to be among them. Emily Linge, in particular, has a deep catalog. What did you think about her playing and her singing?
She was playing very well. I guess I didn't, notice it as much. That's kind of a good way to play, too.
Yeah, because at this point, I believe, I'm not positive, but I think today she's 18. So that means that 5 years ago, she'd be 13 years old.
Oh, wow. Playing that.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. And singing. I mean, I think with a lot of her tracks, she plays and sings and lays down those tracks at the same time. There's been a big discussion online about whether or not it's okay to fix vocal tracks later or things like that. I don't believe that she does that. I think what she does is plays and sings, and if she screws up, she starts over. And I think that's pretty incredible. I mean, she is a well-trained piano player. She can also play the guitar, so she does that for a number of covers as well. And her friend there, Cara, I just want to make sure I get everybody in here because there's a number of people. Yeah, Cara Vel, and it was spelled out to be a little more in the video, but she was the other vocalist who also played guitar for Her Majesty and all that. I have never seen her before, but she sounded pretty good as well. So maybe it looks like she also has a channel. So we may look through, and of course, Manu Rao was the guitar player. That was his name. So yeah, I thought he did great. I thought he really did a good job of recreating that situation there.
Yeah, good sound too. Just coming from his guitar is very much like George.
Yeah, I agree. So, okay. Well, folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this? And if you have any particular thoughts on any of the musicians, let us know. If you're familiar with Emily Linge, if you've got a suggestion for us, you can leave that below. And really, any of these other artists, if they've done a cover that you really liked, let us know about it. I mean, we are also knee-deep in Sina, and we enjoy her work and want to keep on featuring her as well. So any suggestions in that direction are also fine. We particularly like seeing younger artists performing covers of these older songs. I think that that's a wonderful thing, and we want to encourage it. So if you have anything like that from anybody that you think was really impressive, by all means, let us know about it, and maybe we'll feature it, okay? And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe, all right? Thanks so much for joining us today, and we will catch you on the next one, all right? Take care, folks.
See y'all later.